Hi, and welcome to AQ's Blog and Grill. Today's guest is Glen Drummond. Glen is the Chief Innovation Officer at Quarry Integrated Communications, and we're going to talk today about disruption. And I think Glen's got some really interesting perspectives and some insights that he's going to share with us today. So, welcome, Glen.
Hello, Alan.
How you doing?
Great to connect in this channel.
Now, Glen, you did a recent presentation, and you made the argument that our storytelling perspective around disruption might not be helping us all that much with disruption. So help us understand that. What did you mean?
Reading through the many books and seeing the many presentations that are really part of the innovation literature that deal with the topic of disruption, there's a pattern that emerges. And the pattern is that the sources of disruption are associated with non-human forces. It might be technology, it might be globalization, it might be urbanization, it might be a demographic turnover. There are all these different kinds of forces. And then there's the idea of, business models, another class of these forces where, it's every innovation conference you go to, you hear about Uber and how it's a disruptive business model, and there's a whole set of stock stories that go back and select from the growing list of organizations that have failed. But what's interesting is these stories sort of fit into a general group where there is a selection of an answer that is usually a little too simple to really explain what went on. And as you learn more about these stories, you find that, in fact, it wasn't just any one of those trends. It's not as tidy as the storybook version of disruption would have it. These trends are combining, they're joining forces, and my argument is by no means to say that these different forces aren't active in our contemporary business experience, rather that a theory needs to have a cause and effect and a prediction in order to be effective as a practical tool. And the difficulty is when we can't really sort out which is the real cause or how many causes there are, what we seem to see is that a group of business executives, all armed with all the same books, fully aware of all these theories, seem to be continually paralyzed by the face of change, and we're not making any progress on reversing the topple rate. It seems like the life cycle of a market-leading enterprise is becoming shorter all the time. And so it causes us to step back and ask the question, this storytelling perspective clearly accords with our viewpoint on what makes a good story, but is it practical in any material sense from a business standpoint?